Have you ever wondered how it all began? How one of the world's major religions started with a single, profound moment in a secluded cave. Today, we are journeying back in time to witness the very beginning of the revelation in Islam, the first encounter between the Prophet Muhammad and the angel Gabriel. This event didn't just change one man's life, it reshaped the course of human history. So, let's explore this incredible story, from the quiet solitude of a mountain cave to the dawn of a new global faith. Before he was a prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a respected merchant in Mecca, known far and wide as Alam and the Trustworthy. Even in a society steeped in tribal customs and idol worship, he stood apart. He had a deep-seated aversion to the injustices he saw around him, the neglect of the poor, the exploitation of the weak, and the worship of lifeless statues. He felt a spiritual pull, a yearning for something greater, something pure. This yearning led him away from the bustling streets of Mecca to seek solitude and contemplation. His chosen sanctuary was a small, rugged cavern high up on a mountain called Jabal al-Nur, the Mountain of Light. This was the cave of Hira. Here, surrounded by the stark beauty of the Arabian desert, he would spend days, sometimes weeks, in deep meditation and worship, especially during the month of Ramadan. He would bring simple provisions of dates and water, disconnecting from the world to connect with the divine. It was in this very cave, in this state of spiritual retreat, that the most pivotal moment of his life was about to unfold. He was 40 years old, a man in his prime, yet completely unaware that his quiet life was about to be turned upside down forever. The universe was holding its breath, waiting for the first word. One night, during his retreat in the year 610 CE, while he was deep in meditation, the stillness was broken. A majestic, awe-inspiring being appeared before him. This was the angel Gabriel, Jibril in Arabic, the messenger of God. The angel's presence was overwhelming, and he came with a powerful command. He said, "Iqra," which means read. The prophet, who was illiterate and had never learned to read or write, was startled and confused. He replied, "I cannot read." The angel repeated the command, "Read," and again, the prophet gave the same honest answer, "I cannot read." The encounter was intense. The angel then took hold of him and squeezed him tightly, so tightly he felt he couldn't breathe, before releasing him and commanding for a third time, "Read." For the third time, he answered, "What shall I read?" It was then that the angel Gabriel recited the first verses of the Quran ever to be revealed to humanity. "Read in the name of your Lord who created man from a clot. Read, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man what he did not know." These 5 short verses, from what would become the 96th chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Alaq, were the first drops of a divine ocean of revelation that would flow for the next 23 years. They were a declaration that a new era of divine guidance had begun, an era centered on knowledge, learning, and the power of the written word, all rooted in the name of the Creator. This supernatural experience left the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, completely shaken. He was terrified. He scrambled down the mountain, his heart pounding in his chest, not understanding what had just happened to him. Was he going mad? Had he been possessed? He rushed home to his wife, Khadijah, trembling from head to toe. He burst in and cried out, "Cover me! Cover me!" He was in a state of shock and fear. Here, we see the incredible strength and wisdom of Khadijah. She didn't panic. She didn't doubt him. She immediately covered him with a cloak and held him, letting him calm down. Once his terror had subsided and he told her what had happened, she became his rock of support. She didn't see a man losing his mind. She saw the honest, trustworthy man she had always known. She comforted him with some of the most beautiful and reassuring words. She said, "Never. By God, God will never disgrace you. You keep good relations with your kin. You help the poor and the destitute. You serve your guests generously, and you bear the calamities of the people." She reminded him of his own impeccable character, arguing that a person with such virtues would never be abandoned or deceived by God. Her faith in him was absolute. To seek further clarity, Khadijah took him to see her cousin, a man named Warqa ibn Nawfal. Warqa was an old, blind man, but he was a scholar, a Christian who had studied the previous scriptures and had knowledge of the prophets. After listening intently to the prophet's account of his experience in the cave, Warka's face lit up with recognition. He knew exactly what this meant. He exclaimed, "This is the same name as the same angel of revelation who came to Moses. I wish I were young and could be alive when your people will drive you out." The prophet was surprised. "Will they drive me out?" he asked. Warka confirmed, "Yes. No man has ever come with what you have brought without being met with hostility. If I am alive on that day, I will support you with all my might." Warka's confirmation was a crucial turning point. It validated the experience and affirmed that Muhammad was not just any man, he was the chosen prophet for his nation. After this monumental first revelation, something unexpected happened. The divine messages stopped. There was a period of silence, known as the Fatra al-Wahi, a pause in the revelation. This period was deeply trying for the prophet. Having had such a powerful connection to the divine, the silence was agonizing. He longed to hear from God again, to receive more guidance. He would often return to the mountains, hoping to experience what he had felt in the cave. This pause tested his faith and patience, making him yearn even more for the divine connection. It was a period of preparation, allowing the gravity of his new mission to sink in before the full weight of the responsibility was placed upon his shoulders. Then, one day, as he was walking, he looked up towards the sky and saw the same angel, Gabriel, sitting on a throne between the heavens and the earth. The sight was so overwhelming that he was struck with fear once again and rushed home, crying out, "Cover me! Cover me!" It was then that the revelation resumed. This time, the verses were different. They were a call to action. God revealed, "O you who are wrapped up, arise and warn, and your Lord magnify, and your garments purify, and uncleanliness avoid." These verses, from Surah al-Mudaththir, marked the end of a quiet period of contemplation and the beginning of his public mission. The command was clear: rise and deliver the message. It was time to warn his people against their misguidance and call them to the worship of the one true God. The private experience of Hira was now to become a public movement that would echo through the ages. So, what is the significance of this powerful story? First and foremost, it marks the definitive start of Islam and the 23-year journey of Quranic revelation. But it's more than just a starting point. The very first word revealed was Iqra, read. This places knowledge, learning, and intellectual pursuit at the heart of the faith. It's a call to seek truth, to understand the world, and to learn. The story also shows that revelation is a divine gift, not something a person can achieve through their own efforts. The prophet was not seeking to be a prophet, he was simply seeking God. The experience came to him, emphasizing its divine origin. Furthermore, the prophet's initial fear and vulnerability make him relatable. He was a human being who experienced fear, doubt, and needed comfort, which he found in his wife, Khadijah. Her unwavering support highlights the crucial role of family and companionship in facing life's greatest challenges. Finally, Warka's confirmation links Islam to the long chain of monotheistic traditions of Judaism and Christianity, presenting it not as a brand new invention, but as the continuation and final chapter of the same core message sent to prophets like Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. The story of the first revelation is not just a historical account, it's a profound lesson on faith, knowledge, courage, and the human connection to the divine. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to the Cave of Hira. It's a story that continues to inspire millions around the world. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more stories that shape our world. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.